they fight, who they beat on themselves. Come on. Buhari and Idi Agbon had what you call war against indiscipline. War against indiscipline, or why, in 1983, they were flogging people to stay in queue. They go flog you to stay queue for bus stop. Soldier, they just deploy soldier for road.
Exactly. Daddy Freeze, as you take talk, now so is they supposed to do. Make our governments, make them bring back that policy. War against the discipline. Now we need for Nigeria. See good now, where person won't do now. The good now, you don't carry the person go kiri. That's why I see him. May God help us, all my people. Good way we go do. We go carry us go kiri. May God don't let us do them. The work where our government supposed to do, they no do. Now we citizens, now we they do. See as everything they turn out now. If Nigeria never happened to you, you don't know what God do for you, my people. Now God will help us for that country. So my people, make una see waiting the trend.
Let's begin what's trending with a mother's plea. Fumilayo Ogunwusi, mother of the ex-wife of the Ooni of Ife, Naomi Silekunola, has appealed to Nigerians to intervene in the detention of her daughter, who was arrested in the wake of the stampede that claimed the lives of over 35 persons during the Children's Carnival, which she organized in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital. Has it been nice, mother? Wow, this was so sad to see. I mean, we were just discussing that. Why would they hold her for that long, Dr. Abati, Naomi, long after that?
Whether it is Miss Naomi Ogunwusi, that's the name that the House of Oduduwa, the throne of the Ooni of Ife, has put out there, in an attempt by the House of Oduduwa to distance itself from this particular case, is to say that, look, this matter, when you look at it critically, is an action in thought. Persons who organize events have a duty of care to make sure that persons who are involved in those events, are well taken care of. Now, where there is a problem, then there will be issues raised about negligence, about conspiracy, which are the charges that the police seem to be looking at. It doesn't matter whether you are a former queen or a serving queen or an owner of a media house. However, the thing we can insist upon is that the police, the authorities, the security agencies, they must be fair. Every person that is charged, within the ambit of the law, is entitled to fair hearing. That's what Section 35 and 36 of the 1999 Constitution both state. In other words, you cannot keep anybody for more than 48 to 72 hours. That's what I thought. You have an issue with them, you charge them to court. That's it. This is an action in thought. It's even a bailable offense. They are entitled. She's not the only one. There's the owner of Agidigbo FM, another person. They are entitled to bail, either administrative bail or court bail. So nobody should be maltreated. So people should however, not talk about emotions. The mother of former Queen, Naomi, yes, as a mother, she has to feel concerned because, was there an intent to cause harm?
Well, that's
the point she's making.
Yeah, that's the point she's making.
This is a philanthropist. This is what she has been doing. She means well.
Yes,
she wants to help people. We have celebrated a philanthropist on this program. Whether it is Tolu Arokodari, the gang, defender, or it is Alex Iwobi, or it is Victor Musimhen. We have seen so many people, spreading joy and kindness.
Absolutely.
So this went wrong, but at the same time, the rights of the people involved, no matter the issues they want to establish about conspiracy or negligence, must be respected. And former Queen Naomi, is also entitled to a rights, fair hearing under the Nigerian Constitution.
Right, you're right. You both want to say something.
I have a lot to say. And for me, it's about the unfairness of the law and the way things are being done in Nigeria. I'm not saying that Naomi should not be given fair hearing. She should go through, the full provisions of the law. By now, she should have been charged to court.
That's what I was going to mention.
She's been charged to court.
She was charged for murder.
But she's been charged for murder.
The next hearing is on the 13th of
So
January.
why have they
Before
not
magistrate.
put forward
She was
a
denied
case
bail.
for their bail? Why
She
did
was
they deny
denied
her
bail
bail?
because of the charge of murder.
So why was she denied
And the next
bail?
hearing is on the 13th of
So
January.
the second question I also want to ask is, when the Nigerian Immigration Service thing happened many years ago, who was charged to court on that case? You see, these are the loopholes in the Nigerian law. When recently people died in the customs sale of rice stampede, who was charged to court? If this thing had anything to do with any government official, would this be the same level of justice meted out? I think if we can't answer the case of, and that's why I'm very upset with what the chief of defense staff said. Because for those two fighting, you can talk about collateral damage. There's also a duty of care. That's why even scientists invented what they call precision missile. The people lives that were lost. For those two cases, let's bring them back. Who was finally charged to court?
Okay, but you've made some valid points, Rufai.
I'm not talking about the fairness of the process.
The fairness of the process in general. You said she was denied bail. What about the other
all of them
organizers like Obi Jackson? No.
Oh no, so you need
I'm talking about in other states.
In
was
Abuja,
he arrested?
The police have actually invited a reverend priest in
Yes.
Abuja and a couple of other people with that same society. Because it was a Catholic
But
society.
what about in Anambra State?
But I don't know
So
of
Obi
that.
Jackson, we don't know what the update on that is, and that's one of the points I was going to make.
Right.
That it must be seen. Justice must be fair to all. Of course, different courts, as we've seen in many instances, rule in different ways depending on the charges brought before the defendants, and also, Dr. Abbott always says, at the end of the day, the judge or justices have that prerogative. So, but the truth is that it does look a bit unfair as to what is happening to her. What they've said is because it's a charge of murder, Dr. Bati, we can speak to this, that they denied her or denied granting her bail alongside Oriyomi Hamzat and the principal of the school. The only thing I would say is that we also as Nigerians need to state what we really want. When this incident happened, we had said that for us to avoid further occurrences, it has to be investigated, and everyone who is culpable, no sacred cows, should be held accountable. What we're saying though is that there has to be accountability and ensure that due process is followed. If any one of them is found guilty, they should face the full wrath of the law, because we must have punitive measures to deter people in the future.
Right.
What is being seen though, and that's when the sentiments come in, public sentiment, or of course a mother would cry. There are many mothers crying for their children who are currently in jail or unjustly or unfairly jailed. So it's important to state that as well, that let's also be careful that we also say that if anyone is found culpable, whoever it is, whether in Anambra, Abuja, or in Oyo State, let the full course of the law, but let it be done fairly.
Law take its course.
Nobody is above the law.
Yes.
But at the same time, the law must be fair.
Yes.
Law
to
must be
everybody,
fair.
Yes.
be it
Law.
king or plebeian.
Well said, you all. Well said. Well, in Osun State, Governor Ademola Adeleke gave the prerogative of mercy to 53 convicts serving various prison sentences within the Nigerian Correctional Service, including Silekunola, the man who was reportedly sentenced to death by hanging for stealing a hen and eggs in 2010. Segun's story recently went viral and sparked public outcry after an interview granted by his parents.
Moka sentenced to death by hanging.
Ni àwọn èèyàn bá ní ó pààyàn ni.
Kò síbi tá a ti rìn dé o. Kò síbi tá a ti rìn dé lórí ọ̀rọ̀ yìí o, ọmọ orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà.
Kí lẹ wá fẹ́ báyìí gangan?
Ìrànlọ́wọ́ la fẹ́ láti ọ̀dọ̀ gọ́vnọ̀ wa Adeleke kí wọ́n ràn wá lọ́wọ́ torí ní ọjọ́ tí wọ́n dá ẹjọ́ yìí nǹkan tí wọ́n dá ń bẹ̀ náà ni pé ní gọ́vnọ̀ ló lè pádọ̀ ọmọ yìí kí wọ́n ràn wá lọ́wọ́ kí wọ́n ṣàánú wa kí wọ́n wò pé àbí ju ọmọ kan lọ abẹ́ olórí wa gọ́vnọ̀ wa kan dákun kan ṣàánú wa kan ràn wá lọ́wọ́ ọmọ kan ṣoṣo tá a bí nígbésí ayé wa náà ni eléyìí o.
All right, that was the video that was trending, but we know that the Osun court had debunked the story, whether or not Segun had been charged for stealing a hen. They said it was a case of robbery, but the governor has granted him pardon. Let's take Adeleke's tweet. His tweet reads in part, prerogative of mercy extended to 53 convicts in line with the recommendations of the State Advisory Council on prerogative of mercy and in exercise of the power conferred on me by paragraph A, C, and D of subsection I of section 212 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999 as amended, I am pleased to extend my grace and mercy unto 53 convicts serving various convictions within the Nigerian Correctional Service. Well, he went on to list all of the people that he has pardoned, and this is the section that he listed the 4 people. He said, the following 4 convicts have also been sentenced, have their sentences commuted from death sentence to outright pardon. And then he listed them. I believe Sunday was one of the people that he was arrested with, Segun as well, and Tunde Olakpade as well as Demola Odeyemi. I mean, kudos to Governor Ademola Adeleke. I mean, that story was trending yesterday. That story, yes, absolutely.
And that's why for every those that condemn media, it is things like this in media do. We amplify story because if not for that interview,
yes,
he will never be able to have that prerogative of mercy.
We wouldn't have known that he was convicted for a probable crime like that.
Particularly, we should also commend Governor Adeleke
yes,
for listening.
Yes. Absolutely.
Now, when that matter was brought to the public space, he quickly intervened.
Yes.
And he said that Osun State is a state of justice and equity and that he will look into this matter. And he advised the Attorney General and Commissioner of Justice to conduct investigations. And the job of the Attorney General, of course, is to advise his principal. And it's on the basis of this advice that the governor has now, taken this action to pardon 53 convicts. And what he has done is lawful. It is within the purview, as quoted in the statement you read, of section 212 of the Constitution, which allows governors to exercise the prerogative of mercy. But what I find particularly instructive here is that in commuting the death sentence to outright pardon, he also listened to an intervention by Femi Falana, SAN, who said, yes, the governor has said he will pardon Silekunola, but there was also Sunday Morakinyo.
Sunday, that's what I said.
Who the trial judge had said was non-corpus mentis. In other words, he had issues, with his mental state of health, and that the pardon should be extended to him. Again, Governor Adeleke listened to that informed legal counsel by Femi Falana, SAN. I think at the end of the day, this is all lawful, this is all constitutional, and that is what is important about it. Despite the fact that Mutalabi Adebayo, the Attorney General, that was there before, had raised an objection that this was a case of armed robbery. But whether it was armed robbery simpliciter or not. And what he did was to protect the integrity of the judiciary. The governor has still acted within the province of the law.
Absolutely.
I think that's what is important.
Well, kudos to Osun State Governor Ademola Adeleke. Well, we'll head over to the southeast, I believe in Enugu State. Hundreds of residents returning home road on Wednesday. Soldiers allegedly blocked the only access road and were reported to have been extorting travelers. Let's take a look.
This is the military checkpoint at OP. You can see what these people are causing here. The road is fully blocked. Can you watch the go slow? From here to far, you can't believe it. What is happening here? You can't believe it. See, go slow. This is unbearable. Please, let H2DIV make a call to those who are at OP Junction. OP, those army at OP, so that to open this door. They will open this road for motor to pass. This is too much. You can watch what is happening. See the go slow here. Everywhere is blocked. Soldiers were causing it. It is soldiers that are causing it. At OP Junction, at OP towards OP, those soldiers there, they are causing this go slow. Please let them make a call to them. Let them make a call. Let there be a call. Let there be a call from H2DIV. H2DIV will make a call.
This is unbelievable. Ayo, when I saw this video, I was in shock.
Yeah. And it's trending for good reason.
Yes.
Yeah, only a few days back, we're talking about kidnappings in the southeastern part of Nigeria. This happened in the southeastern part. And what people are saying is that beyond the public nuisance that this is causing, beyond the illegality of them extorting, or at least it seemed like, because the video shown, the footage shown at the very beginning, they can show it again, was far away, but we could see policemen, putting their heads into cars, talking to people. So based on the report by people, what they were doing was actually asking, a lot of us have experienced it at some point or the other. It's important for us, I don't know, there has to be some form of mechanism where we can report erring officers and where we can actually see punishments meted out to erring officers who continue to disturb law-abiding citizens on their way, going about their daily duties. This road, number one, they caused heavy traffic, or at least contributed to the heavy traffic, and then the fact that there have been a lot of reports around kidnappings, crime rates, and we know how many people travel around this time to the east from different parts of Nigeria to visit their family members. It is horrible, and I hope that an investigation, especially fishing out these erring officers and making a public example of them to deter future occurrences like that. It's shameful.
Absolutely. Yesterday we took the story, like we talked about yesterday, and apparently the eyewitness report that had said that it was in Anambra State, I got a message saying that no, that was not in Anambra State, it was in Enugu State, somewhere in the Agu LGA of Enugu State. I thought it was important to bring that video back up again because we got that comment saying that this incident was in Enugu State and not in Anambra State. But these eyewitness reports, we have to continue to commend them.
Yeah, but there was a lawmaker kidnapped in Anambra State.
No, I did. Yeah, we reported the lawmaker.
Okay,
it was in Anambra State.
So in that part,
so it was in Anambra State for sure.
Yes.
Their lawmaker, and he's been kidnapped. Yeah. But that one video that we had. Also was in Enugu State. So we are calling on the Enugu State government to also look into that, especially those people that were kidnapped. Really, we need to hear more reports. I haven't heard from the police. We've sent messages. We need to know what's really going on.
Absolutely.
So much people, make not forget to drop in the comments. Till I come on next time. Stay good.